Good morning. This is Ritesh Mathur from the Department of Mechanical Engineering, Arya College of Engineering IT, Kukas, Jaipur. So, in today's lecture, we will discuss the concept of friction. So, what is friction? It is a force which opposes the movement or the tendency of movement. It is called frictional force. Okay. It is due to the resistance of motion offered by minutely projecting particles at the contact surfaces. So as you see in the figure that the purple is the body. If we apply the force is your pushing force and the motion is towards right. Then to oppose this pushing force, there is an opposite force applied in the in the opposite direction. That is by friction. Okay, so the property of the body is by virtue of which a force is exerted by a stationary body on the moving body to resist the motion of the moving body is called friction, and the applied force is known as your frictional force. Okay, now what is limiting friction? So actually there is a limit beyond which the magnitude of friction force cannot increase. So if the magnitude of friction cannot increase, then what will happen? The body will start moving. Means if the applied force is more than this limit, there will be a movement of body over the other. Okay, suppose we are applying thrust on this body. Okay, so there is some limit up to which FL is equals to FT equals to your this thrust P. When the P is greater than the FL, then it will start moving. So limiting friction is the maximum frictional force which resists the body. Okay, so this limiting value of frictional force when the motion is impending, it is known as limiting friction. Now, the types of friction. So basically there are two types of friction. When one is your static friction means what? The body is at rest. So obviously the applied force will be less than the limiting friction. Okay. And second one, dynamic friction. Dynamic friction means what? When the body starts moving. Okay. So there are two types of friction. One is your static friction, another one is your dynamic friction. Obviously, when the body will start, then the friction will be less than the your applied force. That's why the dynamic friction is always less than the limiting friction. Again, dynamic friction is categorized into two types. One is your sliding one, and other one is your rolling friction. So the sliding friction is the friction when the body slides over the other body. And what is rolling friction? When the body rolls over a surface. Then these are two types of friction. Now, what are the basic terminology of the friction? First one is coefficient of friction. So it is defined as the ratio of F, that is your limiting force of friction, to the normal reaction R between two bodies. Okay, it is denoted by the symbol mu. As you can see in the figure, that W is the weight vertically downward. For this, it is there is a normal reaction on the plane. P is the motion or force applied. So as the force applied towards the right, the force of friction will be towards left. So what is according to definition? It is limiting force of friction upon normal reaction. So this will be F upon R. So from this I can say that the formula for the limiting force of friction or simply force of friction will be mu into R. What is R? R is your normal reaction. Now, laws of friction. So there are some laws of friction. The first one is that the friction force always act in a direction opposite to that in which the body tends to move. As we have seen in this figure, that force is applied towards right, so motion will be towards right, but the force of friction will be acting towards left. Second one, till the limiting value is reached, the magnitude of friction is exactly equal to the force which tends to move the body. So if P is your applied force, okay, and F is your friction, then F will be equals to P. Third one, the magnitude of the limiting friction bears a constant ratio to the normal reaction between the two surfaces of contact, and this ratio is called coefficient of friction. This we have already seen, that mu equals to F upon N. So F will be equals to mu into N. N is your normal reaction, or instead of N I can say R. Okay. Then fourth one, the force of friction depends upon the roughness or smoothness of the surfaces. Means how much the surface is smooth and how much the surface is rough. Obviously, if the surface is rough, then friction force will be more, and the if the smoothness of the surface is more, then friction force will be less. Fifth one, the force of friction is independent of the area of contact between the two surfaces. Means whatever type of area, it doesn't depend, it only depends upon the roughness or smoothness of the surfaces. Then number 6, after the body starts moving, the dynamic friction comes into play. Okay, because stationary friction will be cancel out, and as the body starts moving, so dynamic friction will come, and the magnitude of it is less than the limiting friction. Because what is limiting friction? It is that it is a maximum value of friction which your which try to stop the body to move. Okay, so uh, the ratio of your limiting friction to the normal reaction is called coefficient of dynamic friction. Okay, then next is your angle of friction phi. It is defined as the angle made by the resultant of the normal reaction R and the limiting force of the friction F with the normal reaction R. It is denoted by phi. So as we can see in the figure that R is your normal reaction. So what is S? S is your total reaction. So if S is uh, rotate by an angle phi, then this angle of phi is nothing but your angle of friction. So how will you decide that we will have to rotate towards right or towards left? So if we see from the bottom, then the motion is in the direction of right hand side, so I will rotate the R through phi in the right hand direction. Suppose the force P will be in the leftward direction, then I will have to rotate this P, this R at an angle of phi towards left. Okay, so what is phi? This is the angle made by the total reaction with the normal reaction. So in this diagram, let S is the resultant of normal reaction, R and limiting force of friction, then angle of friction phi. So from this figure, it is your right angle triangle. So tan phi will be equals to F upon R. What is F? F, we can say F is equals to mu into R, as we have seen earlier, and RR will get cancelled. So this is equals to mu. So I can also write that mu equals to tan phi. Okay, so the tangent of angle of friction is equal to the coefficient of friction. Then angle of repose, it is represented by alpha. So it is the angle of it is defined as the maximum inclination of a body at which a body remains in equilibrium over the inclined plane by the assistance of friction only. Means what? The body will not start moving up to your limiting friction, or in other way I can say that it is the maximum angle at which the body starts moving or body starts sliding due to its own weight only. It is nothing but your angle of repose. So as shown in the figure, consider a body having weight W resting on rough inclined plane. Okay, so I will as the plane is inclined at an angle of alpha, so the two components of W will be W cos alpha, which is your perpendicular to the plane, and W sin alpha, which is your parallel to the plane. Okay, F is your friction force, because what is alpha? Alpha is your angle of repose, so definitely the box will start moving downward. So the force of friction F, it will act upward. Okay, so F is your friction force. So let the angle of inclination be gradually increased. Okay, and we have just reached the value at which the body just start begin to move downward, okay, which is called your angle of repose. So if I resolve the forces along the plane, then what is this? It is W sine alpha equals to F. And if I resolve the force normal to the plane, so R will be equals to W cos alpha. If I divide equation 1 by equation number 2, what will I get? W will get cancelled. So tan alpha will be equals to F upon R. Okay. But we know that tan alpha equals to tan phi, or I can say tan phi equals to F upon R. We also know this. Okay. So what is phi? Phi is your angle of friction. So from equation number 3 and equation number 4, I can write that tan alpha equals to tan phi, or I can say alpha equals to phi. Means angle of repose will be equals to angle of friction. The next is cone of friction. So it is defined as the right circular cone with vertex at the point of contact of two bodies or surface. The vertex is here, it is your O axis in the direction of normal reaction R, and semi-vertical angle equal to angle of friction phi. So if I rotate this, I will get a cone. So this cone is nothing but your cone of friction. As you can see in this figure, that O to R, this one is your axis, R is your normal reaction. Then according to your angle of friction, if I rotate it towards right or towards left at an angle of phi, then this will be, and I rotate this, okay, then there will be a cone. So this is the whatever the cone is made, it is nothing but your cone of friction. So in this, O is your point of contact between the two bodies, and R is your normal reaction and also axis of cone of friction, and phi is the angle of friction. So this is all about your basic concepts of friction. In the next lecture, we will discuss some problems. Thank you.